90% of people who attempt a morning mindfulness routine quit within the first 2 weeks. Not because they lack discipline. Not because they chose the wrong technique. But because they were handed the wrong framework entirely, one that was designed for monks in monasteries, not real people with real lives and real alarm clocks screaming at them before sunrise. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover exactly how a morning mindfulness routine actually works when it is built correctly, what the science says about timing, sequencing, and duration, and the one insight that most wellness coaches will never tell you, because it completely dismantles the idea that longer is always better. Stay with this until the end, because the final piece changes everything about how you approach your mornings. Let us start with some context. Mindfulness as a formal practice has roots stretching back more than 2,500 years, originating in ancient Buddhist traditions in South and Southeast Asia. The word itself comes from the Pali term sati, which translates roughly to awareness or attention. For most of recorded history, this practice lived exclusively inside monasteries, temples, and contemplative communities. It was not something the average person folded into a busy Tuesday morning before a 9 o'clock meeting. That changed dramatically in 1979, when a molecular biologist named Jean Kabat-Zinn developed mindfulness-based stress reduction at the University of Massachusetts Medical School. He stripped the practice of its religious framing and rebuilt it as a secular, evidence-based intervention. Suddenly mindfulness had clinical credibility. It moved from cushions and incense into hospitals, corporations, and eventually into the hands of anyone with a smartphone and a wellness app. By 2023, the global mindfulness meditation market was valued at over $6 billion. Tens of millions of people worldwide now practice some form of morning mindfulness. And yet, according to a study published in the journal Mindfulness, consistent long-term practice remains frustratingly rare. Most people cycle through enthusiasm, struggle, and abandonment, often multiple times. So what separates those who build a lasting routine from those who keep starting over every January? The answer comes down to 3 foundational principles, and most people violate all 3 without ever knowing it. The first principle is what researchers call implementation intention. A 2010 meta-analysis by Peter Gawitzer at New York University found that people who attached a new habit to a specific existing behavior were 2 to 3 times more likely to maintain that habit over time. This is not motivational advice. This is behavioral science. The implication for your morning routine is simple but powerful. Do not decide you will meditate in the morning. Decide you will meditate immediately after you pour your first cup of coffee. Or immediately after you brush your teeth. The anchor behavior carries the new behavior forward, so your brain does not have to make a fresh decision each day. Decision fatigue is real, and it starts the moment you wake up. The second principle is duration calibration. And this is where most wellness content gets it dangerously wrong. Popular culture suggests that meaningful mindfulness requires at least 20 to 30 minutes of daily practice. That figure intimidates beginners and sets them up for failure. But here is what the research actually shows. A landmark 2018 study published in Behavioral Brain Research found that just 13 minutes of daily mindfulness meditation, practiced consistently over 8 weeks, produced measurable improvements in attention, working memory, emotional regulation, and reduced state anxiety. 13 minutes. Not 30. Not an hour. 13 minutes, done every single day, outperformed longer sessions done inconsistently. Consistency beats duration every single time. The third principle is sequence design. Your morning routine is not just a list of activities. It is a neurological architecture. The order in which you do things shapes your nervous system's response to everything that follows. Research from Harvard Medical School suggests that the first 20 minutes after waking represent a transitional brainwave state, moving from theta waves associated with dreaming into alpha waves associated with relaxed alertness. This is your brain's most receptive window. What you feed it during this period has an outsized influence on your cognitive and emotional tone for the rest of the day. So what does an optimally sequenced morning mindfulness routine actually look like? Let us build it step by step, using the science as our guide rather than someone's aesthetic morning blog. Step 1 happens before you touch your phone. Before you check notifications, before you scroll, before you do anything else. Take 60 seconds to simply notice your breath. Not control it. Not extend it. Just notice it. This single act activates the prefrontal cortex and begins to shift you out of reactive mode. Neuroscientist Sarah Lazar at Harvard found that regular meditators show measurable thickening in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for decision-making, compassion, and emotional regulation. 60 seconds of intentional breath awareness is how you knock on that door every morning. Step 2 is a body scan, and it should last between 3 and 5 minutes. Starting from the top of your head, slowly move your awareness downward through your body. Notice any areas of tension, warmth, numbness, or discomfort without judging them. This practice activates the interoceptive network, the brain's system for reading internal body signals. A 2016 study in Neuroimage found that mindfulness practitioners showed significantly greater interoceptive accuracy than non-practitioners. What this means practically is that you become better at reading your own emotional and physical states before they escalate into stress or overwhelm. Step 3 is your core mindfulness sit, and this is where your 13 minutes come in. Find a comfortable seated position, close your eyes, and anchor your attention to your breath. When your mind wanders, and it will wander, because that is what minds do, gently return your attention to the breath. That moment of returning is not a failure. That moment of returning is the practice. Think of it like a bicep curl for your attention. Each return strengthens the neural pathway of intentional focus. Over 8 weeks of consistent daily practice, brain imaging studies show reduced activity in the default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for rumination, self-referential worry, and mind-wandering. But here is what nobody talks about. The quality of your post-meditation transition matters as much as the meditation itself. Most people sit for their 13 minutes, hear the timer chime, and immediately grab their phone. This is neurologically counterproductive. The calm, focused state you have just cultivated has a half-life. An abrupt re-entry into the digital fire hose collapses it almost instantly. Instead, spend 2 to 3 minutes in what researchers call open awareness. Simply sit with your eyes open, allowing sounds, sensations, and thoughts to arise and pass without engaging them. This bridges your meditative state into your active day and extends the cognitive benefits well into the morning. Step 4, and this one surprises people, is a brief intention-setting moment. Not a journaling session. Not a goal review. Just one sentence, spoken aloud or written down, describing how you want to show up today. Studies on prospective mental simulation, the act of imagining future behavior, show that this simple act increases follow-through by as much as 40%. Your brain treats an articulated intention as a behavioral script. It literally primes your neural circuitry to recognize and act on opportunities aligned with that intention throughout the day. Now let us talk about what happens when you miss a day, because you will miss a day. Research consistently shows that missing one day of a habit has virtually no statistical impact on long-term adherence. Missing 2 consecutive days, however, dramatically increases the risk of full abandonment. The rule is simple. Never miss twice. 1 missed morning is a pause. 2 missed mornings is the beginning of a pattern. Protect that second morning with the same energy you would protect anything genuinely important to your life. The cumulative effect of a well-designed morning mindfulness routine is not subtle. A 2021 review in the journal Frontiers in Psychology, analyzing 36 separate studies, concluded that consistent morning mindfulness practice was associated with reduced cortisol levels, improved emotional resilience, better sleep quality. Yes, your morning practice improves your night, and significantly higher self-reported life satisfaction. These are not soft outcomes. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to Sleep Wave for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.